Chapter 3: Ideas and Metrics. Hi, Emma. Check this out.
Wow, Liam, you've been busy.
Yes, I've got it all worked out, down to the last detail.
Well, that's great, because what I wanted to talk to you about today was planning, ideas, and measurement. Loads of companies start off like you are with a great idea, but it's super important to be aware of one thing.
And what's that?
That it might not work. I'm not saying it won't, but the world is a strange place, and sometimes what looks good on paper doesn't always translate into reality.
Are you saying that I should give up?
No, not at all. It's just really smart to take off the blinders and take stock of the situation. There are lots of potential issues with any company, and you have to be aware of them moving forward. Your app idea will take a long time to come to market. From this moment, with your notebook full of information, it may be 6 months or even a year before people are able to buy your app. In that time, you'll need to be able to pay employees, keep investors happy, and keep yourself fed too. As such, it's smart to adopt a good positive frame of mind now and mold the company in a really dynamic and streamlined way.
So, what should I do for the next 6 months? I've spoken to some people after our last talk, and they seem like they'd be interested in backing the idea. But I think you're right. If I tell them that I need the money now, but there'll be no product for a year, they might not invest.
You're developing a lot of code, right? Lots of business owners look to keep their long-term goals in place, but pivot in the meanwhile.
Do something else with the code I already have, you mean?
That's right. You're going to have a prototype long before you go to market, and the lion's share of the code will be done long before that. You want your app to put freelancers and professionals in touch with restaurant owners for business? Why not do something simpler and go to market faster using part of the same app? Maybe it could just be used for checking real-time availability at restaurants while you continue to develop the full app in the background. You'd be doubling your chances of success without adding too much extra work, and you'd also be able to generate some more revenue to help you launch your main product.
And what if that doesn't work?
It's always best to keep trying. If you fail, you ask yourself why it failed. You learn from the shortcomings of that project and apply that knowledge to the next one. See problems as opportunities, and the world will open up to you.
I do have some other ideas that we could use the app for.
Now you're thinking like an entrepreneur. But it's not all about ideas. Execution is as, if not more, important. How you launch an idea, how you put it into practice, that's what counts. Packaging your idea in a way that will get people to buy is what matters most. Your app may revolutionize the world, but if you don't pitch it to people in the right way, it will fail. Every decision you've made to buy a product or pay for a service has been because that company has done a good job of their execution. They got their product in front of you in a way that made you want to buy it.
That makes a lot of sense, but how do I know what the right way to execute is going to be?
You're going to have to learn sometime, so it's best to start now, I guess. Metrics are imperative for any business to succeed.
I think I've heard about metrics, but I don't know what it means.
Metrics is the term that is used when business owners talk about figures and measurements. It's going to help you to figure out how your app is doing after you launch and whether it's time to invest more money or pivot into something else. Things like total users, current active users, total transactions, and retention are key metrics that you need to be tracking at all times. Things may look good from the outside, but the data won't ever lie to you. It'll tell you if you're on a downward curve or an upward one. And trust, it's better to know while it's happening, not after.
But what sorts of things can I measure now?
As the app is developing, you can still do market research, hold focus groups, take surveys, and all these things will give you data that can be organized. Once it's all laid out, you'll start to see patterns and trends that will help you identify the right way to execute your idea.
I'd better get started then.
Yes, the sooner the better. The more data you collect, the more accurate your results will be. And you'll often find that a simple question will get a simple answer. Ask 100 people if they'd buy an app that gives them real-time availability in their favorite restaurant without having to book over the phone and online. And if all of them say yes, then you've got evidence that it would be a good pivot as well as something to show to investors and employees to get them on board.
So the ability to pivot is going to come in pretty handy by the sounds of it.
Pivoting, or at least having the ability to pivot when necessary, is instrumental in success. Staying lean enough to do this quickly and without any trouble is really important. Moving through ideas and iterations of products without having a huge ripple effect through a large company can be the thing that saves a new startup from failure.
Thanks, Emma. I'm off to talk to my developer about some ideas. See you soon.
Hi, Liam. I've prepared some questions to help you go over the information we covered. Are you ready?
Sure, let's do it.
Question 1. What does the term metrics encompass? A. Sales figures. B. Revenue data. C. Customer statistics. D. Customer retention. E. All of the above.
It has to be E.
That's right, Liam. Metrics applies to sales, revenue, and all other types of figure. Metrics means to measure, so metrics means measuring and tracking every part of the company's activities. Question 2. Which of the following are important for fast pivoting? A. A good PR manager. B. A company-wide email newsletter. C. A large number of employees to help with a new idea. D. A streamlined operation.
Is it D?
It is D. Companies that are large and cumbersome with many layers of employees and infrastructures find it hard to change direction. Being able to pivot into a new idea without too much hassle can be the thing that saves a company from going under. It's best to stay as lean as you can for as long as you can. Question 3. What's the most important thing to do when an idea looks to be failing? A. Liquidate all assets immediately. B. Close down the company before it goes bankrupt. C. Pivot into something else. D. Slash prices to get rid of stock.
We've talked a lot about pivoting, so I'm going to go with C.
That's correct, Liam. A lot of entrepreneurs think that an idea has to work or it doesn't. It's really important to stay flexible, and if you see that an idea isn't gaining traction like it needs to, reinvent it or change direction. It's the mark of a great business person to be able to accept when something isn't working and to look for a solution instead of pushing ahead. Every idea has a life cycle, and being able to predict when it's about to take a downturn can be a great tool to keep a business on top.
Wow, Emma, this has been really helpful.
It's my pleasure. See you soon.